Everybody, welcome back to My Twisted Life and TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap of Ready to Love. This is season 4. I don't know why they keep saying it's season 3. This is season 4. Season 4, episode 5. My hair, y'all, I had my hair like down, and then like I had like just took, you know, when you come home, you take off your headbands, you take off your shoes, you take off your bras, and just the best feeling. Then I said, oh shit, I gotta record a video. So now I'm trying to just like get it back into a ponytail. Yeah, okay, anywho. So yeah, I realized that on demand, actually Tommy says it a lot too. He keeps saying this is season 3, and it's not season 3. Season 1 had Aaron in it. Season 2 had my girl Tondi in it. Season 3 had KG Smooth in it. And now season 4 has KG Smooth in it again. This is the 4th season. So why do they keep saying it's season 3? I don't get it. I don't know. We start this off. To me, y'all, it looked like Tommy had been crying. His whole face was red around the nose and the eyes. And it didn't look like the algae type of red either. It looked like he got some bad news, or he was just in a heated argument type of red face. I didn't understand what was going on with Tommy. Well, the fellas, they getting together and they get the update about Troy. You know, I was like, y'all already know this. Y'all already know this. Joe acting like he's shocked. I mean, dog, it's obvious. When you look around the room, he ain't there. He got eliminated. Duh, right? Okay. So this week, the men need to see if these women could fit in any type of situation. So Tommy's gonna throw a big masquerade ball. He wants them to get all dressed up, looking all good and stuff like that, and see exactly how these women vibe at this doggone masquerade ball. Now, considering that the only people here are the singles on the show, I really don't think it's a fair assessment of them being able to vibe in a formal setting. They needed to be around other people that they didn't know, some high power players possibly, and then see how they all mix and mingle. Because David claims that he goes to formal events all the time, so he really want to know if the woman he going with can, you know, do the damn thing as far as her being present there. Before I started this episode, I was already pissed off because I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw who had already been eliminated on the Ready to Love Instagram feed. I was like, y'all didn't waste no time. I swear, maybe like a minute once the show ended, a minute later it was on Instagram. I was like, come on, y'all. I hadn't watched, so, you know, I was really pissed about that. But make it a mystery, sheesh. My hair is really giving me the blues, baby. Here we go. Tommy, like I said, he having a singles ball, masquerade. See how these ladies move in this type of environment. He wants everybody to come fresh to death. But in the meantime, he still wants them to date like they've normally been doing. So, Kyra, Jason, Alexis, and AJ, they all go on a group date together. Jason and AJ seem to plan a lot of group dates together. I was tripping off that. Or that's what they showing us. I'm gonna go say it now because I know I'm gonna say it later in these recaps and reviews. I do not like the way this show is going. One, they are not showing us the meat and potatoes of these dates that they are having, and two, they keep showing us the same people over and over again, as if these people aren't making any other type of connections or having any other conversations with anybody else. And one of the things that happened later on in this episode with Alexis and Chrysanthemum, Flower Girl, with Alexis and Chrysanthemum, was something I think that was very relevant to us knowing how these people are shaking and moving. So anyway, Kyra, she's still feeling AJ. She said he a man about his business. He's an engineer. I was like, stop, pump the brakes right there, sis. He is not an engineer in the way that most people would take that. He's an audio engineer. But don't say engineer like he's something he went to school and got a degree for, because that's not what he did. They are not the same. But I could have sworn he introduced himself as a music producer. which is also not the same as an audio engineer. The audio engineer basically set up the lights, set up the microphones, trying to make sure that the room is balanced, you know, the sound is going to bounce off the right walls and everything like that, that you ain't got this shiny stuff on your face. And that's what an audio engineer does. And the producer kind of helps create the sound, you know, stuff. After the sound is being created, then the engineer may come back in and try to master it and get the balance right again. So she said he was an engineer. It makes you think that he, you know, an engineer. No, he's not. He's not. Okay, anywho. Alexis. Alexis is very upfront. Upfront. Sometimes I like it. And sometimes I think she's a little over the top with her sexual innuendo. But I like how she does not beat around the bush. That's what... It's this one little page, y'all. That page right there. Like, I would take it all the way down, but girl. Anywho, I like how Alexa does not beat around the bush. So she out there with Jason. You know, last time we seen her, she said, you know, she was tripping off the body language, how he doesn't necessarily sit close to her. So this time she just came right out and asked him, "What's up with us?" I thought that we had a connection. I thought that you were feeling me the way that I was feeling you. I got dry eye, y'all. So sometimes my eye drains. But I'm not feeling it now. I don't feel like we have an attraction to one another. And he tells her basically he can't get her out of his mind as her son's mother. Like I was saying last week, he doesn't see her in an intimate way. He can't place himself there. And that's a struggle for her. And she was like, well, you know, I just need you to be upfront with me then. Let me know. Don't string me along, because that's what I feel like you've been doing. So at this point, they decided we just going to break it off. We ain't going to try to pursue us any further. I said she had an attraction to Jason. She had an attraction to Troy. She had an attraction to AJ still, which she says in this particular episode. And she also had an attraction to somebody else, Ron, that we found out about, which I'm gonna get to that. So but like I said, this season is not really giving me much. We ain't even getting no deep conversations for real. We getting bits and pieces of a conversation that could be meaningful. The way that they're editing it makes some of the conversations seem like people aren't really invested in what's going on. They're not paying attention. When they do their selections at the end, I'm always shocked, like, why you say that? Because we're not seeing these things that they're talking about. And I think it's because they're now showing most of the stuff on Instagram and Twitter. So, like, they had, what's her name? Flower Girl and Troy went on a date last week. They showed that on Instagram. You know, that was kind of significant to how Troy shakes and moves and how they all came up to the decision to really eliminate him. Because Chrysanthemum, Flower Girl, she had said that she hadn't got that vibe from Troy either about him, you know, kissing up on all the ladies and promising things. Stacy said the same thing. And there was one other person who said the same thing about him. So I think that Ready to Love is trying to really build that Instagram or that Twitter follow or their social media platforms. So they're not giving us all the tea on the TV. So, and again, we see Stacy. She's going to meet up with Ron. She got the titties all out. You know what I'm saying? And her titties ain't big, but she got them all out. They briefly talk about how she felt about getting out in a dating game again after her divorce. You know, she's been single for 4 years, but she's saying that she needed to heal. That's why she took a while to do it. I went outside nude, y'all, and I got banged up by mosquitoes. Anyway, she needs to be comfortable. She needs the kids to be comfortable, and she need to heal. Now, if y'all could remind me how old Stacey kids are again. I know she got one that's 20, but how old was the other two? Because her whole reaction at the end of this kind of threw me off for a second. We learned that Ron has her and Flower Girl in his top 2, which is kind of weird for him because now her and Flower Girl have formed this bond. They are like besties. What they call themselves, the new freaking frack. You know how Portia and Phaedra was, the freaking frack. That's how they consider themselves. You know what I'm saying? So she asked him, like, okay, so what's the real deal? Who is really your number one out of us, right? And he lets her know that, you know, he stutter step his way through it for a minute, though, because he's feeling kind of put on the spot. But he lets her know the flower girl has been on his radar since the beginning, and that her connection is stronger than the connection he has with Stacy. And I'm sitting here saying, well, who was your top, sis? Stacy, who you got in the top? Because, like, we saw her go out with David and then Ron. Have we seen Stacy with anyone else that I can recall? I don't recall Stacy being with anyone else. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. I hate this editing. I would like to see who they actually dating to make a better judgment of this situation. The way that they are editing this show this season is making me not interested or not invested at all in these characters. But I've learned just by reviewing the show over the past few seasons and actually making acquaintance with some of the cast members, the way that Will Packer Productions, the way they showcase these conversations, it's the editing. Whoever was doing the editing job, y'all need to be fired, because y'all not doing a good job. Y'all not making the show seem complete nor interesting. I mean, because every woman is not curious about if they the number one all at the same damn time. And then y'all making it seem like the men don't even care if they on top or not. It's only the women. Well, who your number one? Is it me? You need to choose. Nah, bruh. Production is forcing these women to ask that question. And then again, as much as I love this couple, we see Chris and Amber again. His number one. I was like, are they not dating other people? Like, and they basically cut their date that they showed us down to less than 30 seconds. Why? To show them Zen breakfast, and that's what they was doing, having a Zen breakfast. I said Zen bobbing, Lord Jesus. And then briefly talking about is marriage the end game for them? And, like, you know, Chris is like, I'm all in for marriage, but it's not my end game. You know, they just want a couple of forever, him and Amber together. They really vibe like that. Okay, so then Ron goes out with Flower Girl. He decided to go salsa dancing. Dietrich and Tressa come along, and Joel and Vernisha come along. Ron was the actual salsa instructor, you know what I'm saying? After they went through a whole little group routine, doing their little dance and the thing like that, he split the couple into separate rooms for them to practice, basically get some alone time. Just from what I've seen, just from what they show us, that's all Joel do is talk about Vernisha booty and body. That's all he do. That's it. Flower Girl and Ron. Now, this, like I said, this threw me for a loop because I wasn't expecting this. He told Stacy that Flower Girl was above her. But we find out that he feeling Alexis too. And he liked Alexis more than he liked both of them. I was like, well, damn, when did that happen? Okay, so she brought up a conversation that they had. Well, when she brought up the conversation about the number one and number two spot, I could have sworn that she was like talking about Stacy, but no, she was talking about Alexis. Then they rolled the beautiful beam footage of Alexis saying, well, I heard you say Chrysanthemum was number one, so like, who's your number one? Am I your number one? Because he told me I was his number one instead of third. And he said, you know what, I got a top three and Alexis is in the lead. And I was like, well, damn, okay. Flower Girl tried to check him. She said, look, you need to get your shit together. He like, look here, I am looking for a partner. I'm taking this seriously. Are you that? Are you going to be my partner? And she's like, well, you said you saw that in me. He said, no, that's not what I said. I said, I saw signs of that in you. I need to see consistency. And she's like, whatever. I'm tired of dancing. Give me a drink, right? I don't know why, but I like this from Ron. Usually I'm on here like, you know, y'all need to stop stringing these women along. But in my opinion, I don't think that's what Ron is doing. He says, I see things in each of you that I like, and I'm saying who my strongest connection is with, and I'm not, no sugarcoat that shit, right? But I don't know. It just seems genuine coming from him compared to like the Londons and the Bryans and the Aarons of seasons past. Maybe because, like I said, we're not really seeing much of the dates that they're having with these other people. Maybe I'm being led astray. Okay? Well, Flower Girl, she said she feeling a little shafted, you know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't feeling Ron at first. So now she feel like she done wasted her emotion towards Ron. She wasn't even feeling him at first. But on their first date, he changed her mind. Now let me repeat that again. After their first date, she just knew she had it in the bag. They haven't went on any other dates. They only went on one. But from that one date, she just knew she had it in the bag. But the thing is, Alexis has been consistent at communicating with him daily, being present in his mindset on a daily basis. That's the difference. Because Flower Girl and Stacy, as we learn, they want the man to chase them. So Stacy and Flower Girl is probably sitting at home waiting on their phone to ring, but it ain't, at least not from Ron, because he on the phone already talking to Alexis. That's pretty much how that's been going down. So Dietrich and Tressa, they go to a spice shop. Now, when I said I was interested in seeing Dietrich and Tressa's date, I felt like they were pushing Dietrich to date Tressa, because he very openly said he wants a woman that wants to have a kid, and she ain't it. He very openly said he does not like women who are overweight or thick or fat or big boned or whatever, and she is definitely that. He doesn't like the natural look on women. He said that. So I was like, So he said, since her personality nice, he gonna give her a shot, right? I was like, I want to see it, but something is off right this. But now he's saying, well, let's see if we got some chemistry. We got a connection. I dig her personality, but let's see if the sparks are there, right? I think they're trying to make Dietrich seem like a nice guy by saying, okay, I'm gonna overlook that I'm not physically attracted to her and see if I can connect with her on a personal level, and then maybe that attraction will grow. Well, she came in hot and ready, baby. You know what I'm saying? Ready to fire up the room with her little spicy look, you know what I'm saying? She was giving subtle flirtation, and he was just not picking it up or just not like responding accordingly, because he said he basically feel like he's still hanging with his homie. How? I mean, homegirl came through the door, body yada yada, you know what I'm saying? She built like Vernisha. Actually, I think she got a better build than Vernisha for real, because her waistline is like suck out, bam. But anywho, she built like Vernisha. Let's just keep it that way. However, they see Vernisha as being sexy, and they see Tressa as being fat. I'm not gonna say it's colorism going on here, but that was my first thought. Is she too ethnic looking for these people? For her to be considered fat and Vernisha to be considered thick and sexy? You ain't hear from me, but I said it. Okay. But Tressa, she said she feel it though. The non-connection, she feel it. She said at this point she just gonna fall back, stop pushing for the attraction, and just observe how he move. But she does verbalize that to him as well. And he tell her, well, if a man wants you, he gonna show you. If he don't show you, then he not interested. And she knows it. He is not interested in her. I think the fact that she calls him Papa don't help either. But I really do think that was a production pushed arrangement, because she was like thoroughly shocked. Like, that's what Tressa was trying to figure out. Is what you saying really true? Are you really you really want to get to know me? This is strange. Where did this come from? She's been saying it every doggone episode, right? So anywho, we go to this masquerade ball. Alexis came in like, I'm ready to slay, baby, on this long white dress. I didn't really pay attention to too many people's other outfits other than Liz. When Liz stepped out, all eyes locked on her titties. They all locked on her titties for sure. David was on her like white on rice, baby. He just wanted everybody to know that they together, because that's what he wanted everybody to think anyway. But somebody new got eyes for her. Jason. He tuned in like, big tits, who this? Okay. I was like, is that all it took was for her to straighten her hair? Because other than that, she really looked the same. She has wore a couple outfits that show she has cha-cha divas. She has wore outfits that shows that she has a figure. Only thing really different is that she flat ironed her hair. And they were losing their damn minds. But okay. What Joel say? He ain't got whiplash. He need to use Bengay on his neck. She was looking so bright. Okay, I was like, okay, well, okay, girl. Anyway, he brought Jackie back for this episode, and it seemed like he was reluctantly done. That fake in the front, Tommy tells everybody, you know, gotta have my number one here for the ball, and then they left the ball. You just brought Jackie out for what? Because y'all left and went off somewhere. Let everybody party and dance, you know what I'm saying? Party and bullshit. They was getting their freakily on. I think later on in the episode, somebody said it got really freaky out there, didn't it? Yeah. It got there. That's what they did. After everything calmed down for a little bit, everybody was tired. Everybody had a little bit tipsy. You know, Jackie went to go work the room for a minute. Alexis was sitting up on the steps by herself, you know, dress just flowing down the steps, right? The dress was a bit dramatic. However, it was a masquerade ball. Drama was needed. Okay. He just swallowed her little ass up though. She's so petite. So anywho, she goes to talk to Jackie goes and talk to Alexis, and Alexis was like, yeah, I really need to talk to you about this. She acted like Jackie gave her some advice. I didn't really take that as advice. Basically, don't be so quick to jump ship. If you really love the guy, if you really like the guy, you may not like him every day, but as long as you know that the love is there, you can work things out. That's how she was feeling. I don't see that as Alexis' issue. Alexis' issue is she wants somebody to be there for her, give her undivided attention. She didn't feel that way with the old pastor. Pastor was giving too much of his attention to his parishioners and to God, and she wanted to be number one. So anywho, it's time to remove the mask, according to Tommy. Then we get another change of events for me. It seems that Stacy has taken herself out of the running with Ron, because now she's cheerleading for Flower Girl. She tell Ron, women like us need to be led. He was an alpha male, so lead, right? And Ron is like, okay, she rooting for her girl, but this is getting a bit irritating. And I was like, well, men who are supposed to be alphas don't like to be told what they need to do or how to move in a relationship. They just don't. Okay. But I found it odd that the way that they were editing this is that Stacy was like consistently bigging up Flower Girl, but Flower Girl wasn't doing the same thing for her. So in a way, like I said, she was pushing for Flower Girl to have more of Ron's attention, to draw from Alexis. And then I was like, same thing. Is it a color divide here as well? I'm gonna just say that and move on, because the fellas, they were seeing something else. A lot of them wanted to know Flower Girl, not Stacy. They all wanted to know Flower Girl, but Stacy comes as an accessory to know. If I gotta get to know Flower Girl, Stacy's gonna be right there. They can get to know her without Stacy being in the mix some kind of way, is how they felt. Tommy even picked it up, or at least said something about it. He confirms that they both like the same men. Apparently Stacy liked it AJ too. So basically Stacy, Flower Girl, and Alexis like the same dude. All of them did. They all like Troy. They all like Ron. They all like AJ. Jason probably was the only one that was safe. Alexis, he was safe for you by yourself. Okay, anywho. They said, they know how to think separately, you know what I'm saying? But the fellas don't feel that. They see them as one singular item. And Stacy ain't on their radar. They trying to get to know Flower Girl, and Stacy getting in their damn way. That's what they saying. So some of the ladies had now convened around the table. Tressa, Flower Girl, and Stacy. And Jackie joins them. And Tressa say, I think these men want us to pursue them. And Stacy's like, nah, I don't chase no men. And I think Jackie said something about a man finding a good wife. Y'all Bible readers, y'all put that in the conversation what the actual thing say. So, they just gonna hang together and let the men come to them. I was like, at this moment, Tressa and Stacey are for elimination. Because everybody was trying to get to know Flower Girl. Stacey was getting on their damn nerves. We already know they don't like Tressa. I was like, yeah, they both up for elimination. Well, Jason makes his move on Liz. It's interesting that she actually leans into this idea. They got like a 6-year age gap. I think he was like 36. I think she's 42. Or maybe it might be smaller. It might be smaller. I could be wrong. Well, Jason claims that Liz is one of his top picks. After having this one conversation. Because you really didn't have no other pick. Your other pick was Alexis and y'all already into that. So now Liz is your top pick. After one conversation. How, Sway? Anywho, Joel and Alexis come over to where Flower Girl and Ron is at, and Ron's attention immediately draws to Alexis. Flower Girl, yeah, I see you looking at your number one. Go over there then. She didn't even say it to him, but he was already on his way as soon as she thought the thought. You know what I'm saying? Alexis let him know her and Stacey been bigging y'all up, and I need to know if you have a true connection with Flower Girl. Ron say, you know what, I like her. I don't know though, because she hasn't really opened up past surface level stuff for me. And so he can't say there's a true connection. At the same time, Alexis is still feeling AJ anyway. Now remember, AJ thinks she's too aggressive, so she need to really feel that out. I don't know, y'all. I thought Alexis was gonna get on my nerves, but honestly, I kind of like the way she moving. She ain't playing no games. Well, it's deliberation time. We gonna say what we already know. AJ feeling Kyra, KJ feeling Amber, David feeling Liz, Joe still feeling Venetia, Ron feeling Alexis. Who you not feeling? AJ says it's hard to talk to Flower Girl with Stacey because they hard to separate. Ron says Stacey's in his bottom. How that happened, Ron? She went from being in your top 3 out of 8 women. She was in your top 3, and now she in your bottom. She has bottomed out. So basically what y'all doing the same thing that they have done in previous seasons. If my homeboy attracted to her, I'm not gonna say I don't like her. Cause David, who else David been feeling? Anyway, Joel chimes in, says Stacey is working his nerves too. David added Stacey and Tressa. AJ, Jason, Dietrich, they all said Tressa is in the bottom too. So last week Tressa was your top, and now she the bottom of the earth for you, Dietrich. But who else you been talking to? That's what I want to know. Who got your attention? Really? Because ain't nobody really talking to Venetia or Amber that I could see, other than KJ talking to Amber and Joel talking to Venetia. Because they don't want to step on those. Matter of fact, I think Jason gave him a shout out talking about make sure you invite me to the wedding type of thing. Yeah. But they not making anybody's bottom. I don't believe it. So anyway, Joel sit with Tressa. David sit with Stacey. 2 people I said. David asked Stacey about her takeaway from the ball. And she brings up Flower Girl. Now, I don't know if it was editing and he asked her about her. But if not, that was the one thing you took away from it, was something that had to do with Flower Girl. So he also tells her, how he felt their connection wasn't there and how most of the men feel that she's not genuine. I was like, look her, Will Packer. If the men said that she is not genuine, I needed to hear that. Because from the conversation they showed us, that's all they cared about was the fact that she was cock blocking from Flower Girl. That's all. They didn't say that she wasn't genuine. Heck, Stacey actually been one of the most realest people on her for real. And she feel hurt, bamboozled, run amok, led astray. Tears start to fall. But I was like, girl, who you really vibing with for real? Because they didn't show you with AJ that I can remember. She seemed shocked to hear that David actually liked her. So I was like, okay, so basically this is a double elimination. They're getting rid of both of them. And she was like, I failed my kids. They thought they was going to bring home daddy. You know, somebody could go buy them a puppy. How old are these kids, y'all? Please remind me. Anywho, I already knew Tressa was going to be gone because that's the one I saw on Instagram. And she out here thinking that her and Joe about to have a real date. And she like, finally. He like, he can't even look in her eyes. You know what I'm saying? She notices that too. Tressa picks up really good on body language. I like that about her. But he about to send her home. That's why he can't look in her eyes. Joel made it seem like he had been pulling for her. He was rooting for her, but the other guys wasn't. So we've lost 7 people, y'all. 3 men, 4 women, 13 left. Christian, Kylie, Ida, Andrea, Troy, Stacy, and Tressa are all gone. AJ, Jason, Ryan, KG, Joel, Dietrich, David, Flower Girl, Venetia, Amber, Liz, Kyra, and Alexis are still there. And I'm really not interested in majority of them. I like Amber and Chris. That's it. That's it. I don't know. Yeah. So like I say, we haven't really seen these interactions before for me to say I like anybody else. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode down in the comment section. I'll talk to y'all again soon. See you in the next video. Peace.